Sunday's game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sunday's game.
Yep.
And I was very disappointed because I thought they were going to get that field goal, and they were on a good run, and I got heartbroken.
Yeah,
I lost money on that game.
I lost money on that game. I bet him.
When you say you thought they were going to get that field goal, are you talking about the 25-yarder or the 6? Yeah.
Yep, the first one.
Yeah. I mean,
the first one.
Yeah, that's all you needed to win that football game.
Right, but I always I try not to do that with games.
Well, Jerod Mayo does it. Well, he does.
Right.
It's an odd peculiarity is that he always brings up what could have happened.
Right. I try not to do that because
why does he do that?
I think it's like it goes back to like a lot of coaches that say, well, if we would have done this,
one or two plays, if they went differently.
We lost 6 games by less than 7
points. To be fair, Bill
points.
said the same thing last year.
Yeah, Bill did say the same thing.
Did he?
Yeah, he said we lost
I don't. Every time I bring up Jerod Mayo, it doesn't have to be compared to Bill Belichick.
No, I'm just saying, like it's what coaches do. They in retrospect to try and make excuses, and then they move forward.
If I were to give Jerod Mayo a single critique that I think has been most detrimental to the team since he became the head coach, is a lack of a feel. Like there was a play in the game yesterday on Sunday where the Colts are hurrying up to the line. The Patriots, I think it was a 3rd and 1, something like that.
Yes.
And in my living room, I'm saying, timeout.
Those guys never got to the line.
And it's like
that's on Covington too, Curtis.
Oh, right, exactly. But it's just there is a certain I don't even like you get the interception, you get the ball at the 48, you get and it's an opportunity to pounce.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether that's something you learn, right? So maybe he's got to have these growing pains when it comes to being a head coach, but he also doesn't have a feel for how to handle questions. And that's
I mean, it was interesting. Maybe it was wild how the importance that was placed on his answer on the Belichick question yesterday.
Right?
Did you feel like that was? I thought that so many people were bothered by that. Like, I didn't mind the way he answered it.
I liked the way he answered it.
What
would they have rather him said?
Right.
Like, that's what I don't get. Everybody can say that Jerod Mayo, says a bunch of things and you don't actually get an answer. That was a clear answer. He takes back what he said because he was speaking while frustrated.
A better answer might have just been, there are some things. Like, why does he have to distance himself? Why is he trying to distance himself every 5 seconds from Bill Belichick?
Because he was responding to what I'm sure a lot of people felt, like Curtis yesterday, who said you can't distance yourself one week and then draw a comparison the next week.
Right.
That's why that was when he was saying I shouldn't have said it.
And he said he was wrong.
Yeah.
He said he
Do you have that exchange by any chance for those who may have missed it yesterday?
I think you've done a great job of being your own man, and it's something that we've credited you for, that a lot of people have followed certain coaches and then they try to be that person. It was frustrating for me to hear you cite the Super Bowl with the Seahawks.
I shouldn't have done that. You're right. Hey, look, I probably shouldn't. When I said it, I was frustrated, first of all, which I should have taken a deep breath. I should not have said that. I should not have said it. Neutralized. Bam. hey, he did not expect me. He didn't expect me to say, you know what, guys? I should not have said that.
Yeah, you figured him out.
I shouldn't have said it. Then you're like, it was like I saw smoke coming out your ears. Look, I shouldn't have said it.
That was a good Curtis there.
But he's learning. Like that's the. Let's go back to Bill's first year and listen to his press conferences and the things that he said. Like Bill was a lot more vocal in the beginning of his career than he was at the end of his career.
Till he got burned.
Yeah, but I mean, he just was like a lot of coaches. You don't think, even Dan Campbell, we clowned him for some of the stuff. Nick Sirianni, we clowned him for some of the stuff. So I think as coaches, just like players, your first year, you're learning a lot of stuff. We talk about Drake May. You're making mistakes. You're doing things.
Are you confident with Jerod when it comes to Drake May, who is, I think, by every estimation, seems to have everything you need to be a really good quarterback in this league?
Mm-hmm.
Are you confident with Jerod Mayo handling the rest of his development?
But see, it's not Jerod.
Okay.
It's the coordinator, because remember, when you look at Belichick, it wasn't Belichick handling Brady necessarily. it was all the offensive coordinators, the guys that you put in charge to basically do the majority of the development of that position.
Okay, he's the CEO, though. Like, he's the guy who is running the show. Like,
right.
And so
he's not technically the CEO.
Well,
I would say that isn't Elliot Wolf more of the CEO? Yeah, the CEO.
Who's the CFO?
I would say that
Robin.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say Elliot Wolf is the CFO and that Robert is the CEO.
All right, well, however you want to play it. The question should be, do you feel confident that Alex Van Pelt can develop and put the best game plan out there for Drake May to be successful?
See, if you look at Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
You give a lot of credit, I assume, to his offensive-minded head coach, Andy Reid.
Because he's technically his coordinator.
Okay.
Yep.
But do you have that same confidence in your head coach when it comes to that side of the football to handle a Ferrari like Drake May is?
But it wouldn't be Jerod handling it. You can't use the comparison of Andy Reid because Andy Reid is the offensive coordinator. You have to find
D'Amico and C.J. Stroud.
Oh, who'd you say?
D'Amico Ryans and C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, or I was going to say Dan Quinn and Jaden Daniels, where your head coach is the defensive-minded guy. Dan Quinn is a defensive-minded guy. The guy handling Jaden Daniels is Cliff Kingsbury.
And this is Wiggy's best example yet of how Brady was Brady, not because of Bill.
Yeah, it was more of what the coordinators were able to do. So do you feel confident now? If you would have said, did Jerod Mayo hire the right guy in Alex Van Pelt?
Well, you always tell me that he didn't.
I tend to believe he didn't, but
and that's fine.
He says he does. Yeah. So let's just say, is Alex Van Pelt the right guy, in your opinion, to be able to get the best out of Drake May?
No.
And put the best game plan?
No, because he doesn't have enough experience.
And, Greg, can I just put a bow on the Jerod Mayo?
Whoa.
Okay, here we go.
But how much experience did Ben Johnson or Bobby Schlowick have?
Okay, so he's the right guy in your mind.
No,
I would say it's different.
No, you don't get to just ask the question.
Okay.
I gave you my answer and you went, whoa. What's
I'd
your
say
answer?
no, and it's not
great.
because he doesn't have experience, because he's been in the league a long time.
Why is it then?
I don't believe he's innovative enough to really have a great offensive system.
Okay.
So I think it's different when you're as old as Van Pelt is without a gig as opposed to a young and up-and-coming coordinator. I think those are different analogies. But, Greg, with Jerod Mayo, he told us that he speaks to the team through us, correct?
Yes.
That he talks to the media because he knows players listen to it. If you're going to talk to the media and then on a relatively regular basis, then speak again to the media to correct or rescind something you've said, wouldn't it stand to reason that the players aren't always going to be listening or taking you as seriously as you want?
Yeah, that could be an issue.
And I would say that that's that in the feel. And the feel, I think, is part of all of this. The feel for what should be said, when to say it. And he clearly was frustrated in London, and he called the team soft. He was frustrated yet on Sunday, and he brought up the Super Bowl.
He was frustrated when he said, once they go on the field, we can't. There's nothing we could do. And but I get it.
It's kind of like, I think it gives people the impression that you're waffling.
Yeah.
Like you say something that is meant to be motivational in a tough manner, and then you turn around and walk it back the next day because people are.
But that's the thing. Does he change next year? If he's still doing this next year, then there's a bigger concern because you haven't learned from some of your mistakes. That's why I tend to.
Do you want to waste another season?
I
wondering if that will be the case. I think that's where people.
But I see people who go, you need to move on from him. I think you're not giving somebody a fair opportunity.
I agree with you.
I think any organization that fires their coach after 1 year, unless the coach is just like an Urban Meyer who's just completely, you could tell that. And I don't think Jerod has any of those things. I think that there's some mistakes that he's made. I think the players do respect him. And I think it's more about the talent that you don't have that's affecting.
Well, he's going to be back. I mean, it's pretty clear. Like
I believe he is.
The Crafts are
I don't
kind of talking about that. The people
right,
saying
but where
he's
are all these rumors coming from?
Ground.
Where are all these rumors coming from that Jerod's going to be?
No, I don't think they're rumors. I think there are. Wiggy, we did a poll. There are a majority of the. You have to face the facts.
Mm-hmm.
I know it hurts you.
No, I'm talking about whispers from.
There are a lot of the majority of the fans don't believe he has what it takes.
Right. I'm not talking about
what
that.
they've seen. I think people get bothered by the fact that he said you can't create a new culture in a year. Like, what?
Well, I'm talking about the whispers from.
I think the whispers are simply people who are reading the tea leaves, seeing that tickets in the 200s are $25 on game day, that the interest is waning, the TV ratings are down, and there isn't faith in Jerod Mayo's ability to rebuild this organization by the fans. Whether they're right to have no faith or not, obviously they can be rewarded. And Bill Belichick, I was at a game in 2001 when you guys played the Chargers and were down 10 in the fourth quarter before Wiggy caught the tying touchdown pass. That stadium was brutal. The kids of Bill had to go up to the suite because the fans wanted him out of there.
Right, but I mean, sorry, Curtis, the whispers of like the people in the know, like the Tommy Currans, the Mike Giottis, like the whispers of there's a chance he could be he could be on the hot seat.
A chance. I mean,
and they're hearing
his record is going to be worse than Bill's. I would, or at least
the same,
maybe the same,
right?
With the very same personnel, and and a much better quarterback,
right?
So I think you have to ask the question.
Well, I'm not saying don't ask the question, but I feel like I feel like they're getting like that. Kraft might be burping into the ether. Maybe we do change the coach next year.
I think the narrative was we are taking our organization back. And we have found the right guy to lead it. And the question becomes, did you really end up finding the right guy? And if so, where are the results?
I have a Fitzy parody song, Greg.
Yes.
Silo, it's off to work we go.